friend. It's the end of the day. Put the worries and the stress away. Light a candle, grab your drink. Let's slow it down, take time to think. It's wind down time. Do what feels right. Read a little book or journal by candlelight. Sip some wine or tea or just breathe deep. We're here to vibe, not lose sleep. So welcome in, you made it through. This little space is just for you. Whatever you need, you're not alone. It's one down time, let's feel at home.
Hello. Welcome into Wind Down Wednesday. How is everyone doing? What is everyone going to be up to this evening? What are you guys going to be doing, reading, drinking, all of the things? I am going to be drinking water and more water. I have water in my cup, and then I also have coconut water that I have not drank yet today, so I need to do that. So that is what is on my agenda for drinking. And then I am going to be reading a book that I started a little bit earlier today, actually. It's called How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates. And I honestly couldn't tell you like how I heard about this book. I do not remember like how I found this book. I was looking for books for Read Your Library Readathon, but I don't know like what prompt I was looking for or like how I ended up down the rabbit hole to the point where I found this book. This might be a very popular book. I don't know. I haven't really been on the internet like that in the last couple of weeks. So maybe if it is popular, that would explain how I somehow stumbled upon it. But if it's not popular, I do not know how I found this book. But I am 10% into this, and I'm having the best time so far. Not much has happened, I'll be honest, but just in what little bit has happened, it has been extremely entertaining, which number one is a great feeling because I was just telling Paco and Helen over the weekend that I feel like I've been struggling all year. I've been struggling to find books that actually like interest me and like keep my attention and like books that I want to pick up and keep reading. I think the last book that I read that I was like, oh, I want to read this. Like anytime I wasn't reading it, I was like thinking about it and like wanting to read it was probably The Favorites, which was like back in January. And I think before that, it might have been, what was it called? Like Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal. That was in December. And then before that, I couldn't even tell you what the last book was that like gave me that feeling. Probably something I read like in October or something. Like books have been a little bit of a struggle for me to like, I don't know. Part of this is Margaret's fault. I don't know if Margaret's here, and if she's not here, you can tell her I said this. But part of my reading slump is Margaret's fault because ever since she introduced me to Dimension 20, like that is all I want to do is watch Dimension 20. And so reading has kind of taken a back seat, and the reading that I have been doing just has not felt as like fulfilling or exciting or whatever insert adjective there. But this book so far is off to a really good start. So I am looking forward to continuing this. Now, I will say this is not a book from what I read so far. Again, I've only read 10%. I would not say that this is a book that I would recommend to just like anybody read. The reason why I am liking this book so much is because the main character is someone who is very interested in and is writing their dissertation on analyzing the similarities between slasher movies and rom-coms. And if you know me, I could have written this dissertation. You know what I mean? Like this is a very like me book. So I would say like if you are not interested in, especially if you're not interested in slasher movies, you do not like slasher movies, you have not seen slasher movies, you will probably hate this book because there are so many references. Again, I'm only 10% in, and there are so many references to like classic horror films to the point where like it's a little bit obnoxious, but because I am also a fangirl of slasher movies, I like it. But if you're not a fangirl, you will hate it. It will be so annoying because it's like every other line they're finding a way to like somehow talk about one of these movies, whether like a lot of the characters are named after characters in Scream or Halloween. Like a lot of the stuff that she's describing is like she'll be like, oh, that person's dress is shorter than so and so's hair in Friday the 13th. You know what I mean? Like it's like everything that she says is somehow a reference either to a slasher movie or a rom-com. So if you do not like those genres of movies or you have not seen them, then you will not enjoy this. But if you are a fan, this might be up your alley. So I will obviously be continuing to read this to see how it goes, because I don't even know what this book is about. I don't know what genre this book is. I don't know if this is a rom-com. Like I don't even know what this is. So far, it's not a rom-com, but again, I'm only 10% in. So I have no idea where this story is going. Y'all know that I like to go into books kind of like blind and not read the synopsis and stuff ahead of time. So I don't know what kind of ride is in store for this book, but I'm excited for it. So that is what I'm going to be reading. And last week we chatted a bunch, which was great because I had been gone for like a month. So I think this time we're going to try to like really get down to business and like actually read this time around. So I will definitely try to keep the chatty bits like shorter. To make up for the fact that we only did 2 sprints last week. I acknowledge we were here for 4 hours, and only did 2 sprints. So I will try to make that up to you guys today. With that being said, we are going to jump into the comments. And then once we get through these comments, we will jump into our first sprint. So let's see. Hello, Glenda. Welcome in. Hello, Jess. Yes, I am definitely feeling better. I would say that like I'm not necessarily feeling better because I don't think that I've seen like much of a change from like, for example, last Wednesday to this Wednesday. I don't think anything has like significantly gotten worse, which is great, but also nothing has like significantly gotten better either. I'm kind of like in the same, I guess, spot. And it's just one of those things where like this process is gonna take time. Like this is a 6-month process, and we're only 1 month into a 6-month process. So we're only 1/6 of the way through. So I would say, you know, given that, I think that I'm progressing quite well. But yeah, it's something that I've accepted is gonna take time to get back to being 100%. But you know, I'm happy with the progress that I've made thus far. Hello, Cherie. Reading Lucky Seed by Justina Huang for Courtney's April Book Club. Nice. I feel like I did see that Courtney had announced that they were reading this. I don't know if it was like a community post that I saw or if it was an actual video that she did. I can't remember. But I do remember seeing her talk about this because when she mentioned it, I remember thinking, I don't know why I thought this, but I remember thinking or wondering if this book has anything to do with, dang, what is that book called? It was a book that I read in like middle school, and then I reread it for Get a Clue. Was it called like Seed Folks or something? I might have just made that title up. I'll have to look it up. I don't remember what it's called, but I remember thinking if it was related to that. I don't think it is, but I remember having that thought. Let's see. What was the last thing that you were reading? Oh, you were reading The Liar I Married, and you were also reading Guess Again. Have you finished either of those? I'm assuming that you have, because I think this was from January. So hopefully you either finished or DNF'd by this point. Let's see, Lucky Seed. Hello to Jen. Hello, Lily. Welcome in. Hello, Glenda. I'll be reading Theo of Golden. Oh, I've not heard of that. What is that? Is that a for some reason it sounds like a mythology type thing, but is this fantasy? I'm not familiar with this title. Also, when you were reading The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi, that was a reread, right? Remind me. Theo Golden. Reading Do You Remember? Ooh, is this like a newer release or is this something from her backlist? I still to this day have not read anything by Frida McFadden, and I'm definitely going to. One of my only reader friends, like IRL reading friends, because like none of my friends read books, but I do have one friend that reads books, and he loves Frida McFadden. He like swears by her. He's like, anytime he reads a bad book, He's like, okay, this book was trash. I gotta go read a Frida McFadden book to make up for it. But I don't think I've heard him talk about this title before. So I'm wondering, is this new or is this something that's old that I just am not aware of? Let's see. What were you reading? You were reading. Oh, yeah, you were reading The Soulmate Equation. How was that? Did you finish that? Do you remember? Oh, I spelled remember wrong. Of course I did. On page 58 of Hunger by Choi Jin Young for the translated. Oh, nice. Workspace on the bingo board. I think I read, what is that book called? 3 Bags Full. 3 Bags Full was what I read for the translated. I'm pretty sure that's what I did it for. I will say, was not a fan of 3 Bags Full. I was disappointed. Let's see. Hunger. Nice. Drinking water. Already had my coffee earlier. Nice. Very nice. Courtney made a good point. In Frida's book, always have just 2 words in the title. Oh, wow. I never thought about that before. But do you remember? That's 3 words. Also, I'm reading the book for the series Starter Space, True to the Game by Terry Woods. I think I might have had that. I feel like you were reading that last time. Yeah, maybe somebody else was reading that. That title sounds familiar. True to the Game. Good. I'm glad you liked it. And okay, apparently it's a rom-com. I was like, I don't know what this book is. I have no idea because I did not read the synopsis. I think I was looking. I really don't know how I found this book, honestly. I think I was looking for books maybe by authors that I had never read before or something. I have no idea how I stumbled upon this. But I like books that start, or like the titles start with stuff like that, like How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates. I have another book that's been on my shelf for like 4 years that I still haven't read yet. Whoa, oh my gosh, Jesus. I hate when this happens. There we go. Called How to Kill Your Family. I have one, I think it's called like How to Kill Your Employer or something like that. I don't know. Those titles are always funny to me. So I'm like always curious. I'm like, what is this book about? So yeah, and anything that's like a funny like serial killer type of thing, I'm into it. Like, what was that book called? Do I have it? Oh yeah, Love in the Time of Serial Killers. That was good. What was the other one? There was another one that was like along those lines that I read. The most, what is it called? The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. Like, I don't know. I like books like that. Someone mentioned this before. I realized their genre preferences have changed, maybe explore different genres. That's what I was thinking too, because I'm just like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I feel like I'm picking up books that I thought I would like, and then I read them and I'm just like, meh, could have done without it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know if it's just I'm not in the mood to read, or if it's I'm not doing a good job of picking up books that I like. Like, do I not know my reading taste? Like, I don't know what it is. But yeah, definitely exploring different genres is for sure an option. Because like even I find trying to read books that are in like my favorite genres, I'm still walking away like kind of disappointed. So yeah. Hello to Cherie and Lola. The X, yeah, the X, the Intruder. What's the other one? Block. What was the one about like Cell D or Block D or something? The one that's, I forget what it's called. And then what's the one that I want to read? The one that has like the couch on the cover. I can like see the cover, but I can't see the title. I can't remember, but it's like it has like a black couch or something on the cover. The Housemaid, yeah. There are a lot of two-word titles. That is funny. Oh, thanks. Thank you. I feel like at some point I need to like redo them just because they've been like this for a while, but I just haven't had the time or energy to try to like feng shui my bookshelves. There are so many other things in my life that I'm trying to feng shui right now. Bookshelves will be at the bottom of that list, but at some point I will probably redo them a little bit. I also need to get some of these books off my shelf. There's a shelf above this one that you can't see that just has a bunch of unhaul books on the shelf. So I need to eventually take those off the shelf and unhaul them. I just haven't had the time. At first I didn't have the time to do it. Now I have the time to do it, but because I'm not driving and stuff, I can't like take them where they need to go to get unhauled. So eventually they'll get off the shelf. Hello, hello. Hello to Leslie. Hello, Glenda. Hello, Camilla. Reading Keep Your Friends Close by Lucinda Berry. Ooh. I've only ever read one Lucinda Berry book. What was it called? The Perfect Child. It was very interesting. I think I might have read some of it on Spreads. I think we've talked about this already. But yeah, her books from what I've heard from other people and also like from the one that I read, her books are like kind of deep and like tend to be like psychological and like can kind of make you a little bit uncomfortable, but in like an almost like in an educational kind of way. It's hard to explain. So I'm curious. I haven't heard of Keep Your Friends Close, but I'm curious if you get that same vibe from whatever this book is from her. Let's see. Did you finish Still Waters? That's the last book that I have that you were reading. I'm assuming that you probably finished it because it was I think it was from March. Keep Your Friends Close. Hello to Glenda. Hello to Camilla. Hello to Glenda. Hello, Christina. Welcome in. How are you? We have our our link to the round 2 announcements and TBRs for the Read Your Library Readathon. And then we also have our sprint trolley. So if you are following along the sprints that are happening for the month of April for the Read Your Library Readathon, here is the link, for you to be able to go back and watch any sprints that you missed and also be able to continue the journey as we go throughout the rest of the month. And then we have all of our lovely reminders to hydrate, eat, do your laundry, take your meds, stretch, hit the like button and subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't already so that hopefully you get notified. Although we know that YouTube picks and chooses what they will and won't notify people for. Hello to Glenda, Jen, Cherie, Casey, Leslie, and Camilla. Hello, Christina. Hello, Jess. Jess, you were just sprinting. Was it yesterday? What day is it? Today's Wednesday. Was it yesterday or was it Monday? I saw that you were sprinting. And by the time I saw the notification and I clicked on it, you had already finished. Because I saw it at like midnight. And I think you had started like way before then. And I was like, dang it. Hello to Atia, our lovely Read Your Library Readathon creator. Hello to Booktube Mama. Hello to Camilla. Hello, Glenda, Christina. Hello, Jess. Hello, Atia. Hello, Vasantha. Reading When the Reckoning Comes by Latanya McQueen. Jag Agaton had read it months ago and gave it 5 stars. Oh, nice. I don't think I've heard of this title, but there are certain people where it's like their book recs are solid, and I feel like Jan is one of those people. So you'll have to keep us posted on, what your thoughts are, whether or not you like it. What is going on? Oh, there we go. Whether or not you like it once you finished it. Also, the last book that I had that you were reading was Spoiled Milk. Did you finish that? Let us know. When the Reckoning Comes. Nice. Oh, okay. So it's an older, like it's a backlist book. Okay. You'll have to keep us posted on whether or not it's any good. I don't even know where to begin. I think I'll probably start with The Housemaid just so I can watch the movie. But after that, it's like I don't know which one, to pick up next. Oh yeah, she has The Teacher. That's another 2-word title. It's like randomly popping in my head now. Finished, but okay. Guess Again was 5 stars. Nice. DNF the other one. Excellent. Nice. No problem. I love that. Yeah. Hello to Christina. Okay, it was a reread. Okay. Gave it 5 stars again. Nice. Love the main character. Theo of Golden is literary fiction. It's gotten a lot of great reviews. Okay. I was gonna say it's hard for me to tell from the title like what it is. I couldn't tell if it was like mythology or fantasy. Apparently it was neither one. It's literary fiction. Nice. Still reading The Soulmate Equation, still enjoying it, about 50 pages in. Nice. Let me make sure that I didn't take that off. Oops. I feel like we talked about this. Maybe we didn't. I don't remember. Did you finish Never Broken? point equation. Let's see. Still listening while at work. Nice. No worries. Have a great rest of your day. Hope work goes well for you. See you later, Leslie. Bye, Leslie. Zoomer Camera was like, what do you mean? Your show for 4 years? Yeah, the timing. My camera really like does me dirty because I don't know. I need to figure out how to turn it off because there's like gesture commands that are turned on, I guess. So it's like enabled. So when I do certain things with my hands, it does stuff. And then I think it also has like voice control or whatever enabled. So certain things that I say or certain things that it thinks I said, even sometimes when I have my audiobook playing, my audiobook will say something that it thinks is a command and it starts doing stuff. So I have to figure out how to turn those settings off because my camera really be doing me dirty. My hair is absolutely not done. And I was hoping that from a distance, it would be passable. But my camera like was fully like, oh, we're going to expose your edges, girl. It was like, okay. Also, I'm listening to Don't Let the Forest Stand by C.G. Drews at 36%. Very atmospheric. Nice. I feel like I've heard of this book before. Let's see. Oops, I didn't mean to click on that. Don't Let the Forest In. For some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason this title just reminded me that, because we were talking earlier about like this kind of slump, I guess you could call it, that I'm in, where I'm just not enjoying any of the books that I'm reading. It's not that I'm not reading, it's just the stuff that I am reading I'm not really enjoying, and therefore I'm reading at a much like slower pace. But in talking about that, I have my TBR for, what month is this? April? For May. I have my TBR for May picked out, and there's a lot of books on it. Probably more books than I'm realistically going to get to, but we're gonna try to fix that. And I'm probably going to start some of them in April so I can try to get through all the ones on the list. But I have a bunch of books that I need to read in preparation for a book festival that I'm going to in the beginning of June. And most of them are like fantasy, which you guys know fantasy is, it's where I struggle. So I have like a whole TBR of fantasy books that I have to get read before June. So we shall see what happens to me by the end of May. Hello, Bree. Just getting off work. Going to find something for dinner, and my current read is Air Fire by Sarah J. Maas. I think that might have been what you were reading last week. Oh no, you were reading Crown of Midnight. So let's update that. Maybe somebody else must have been reading Air Fire, because I'm pretty sure I remember somebody talking about this book last week. Let me see. Oh yeah, it was Flo. Flo was reading Air Fire last time. What kind of futuristic game? I don't know. It must have been something. It was either something I did with my hands or something that I said that made it zoom in like that. I literally hate when it does that. Yes, Ward D. That was, I said, what did I say? Like Block D or Cell D? I was close. Ward D. Yes, Never Lie. That's like the main one that I want to read, besides like The Housemaid, obviously. But Never Lie is the one I feel like out of all the synopses of like Freida McFadden books that I've read, Never Lie is the synopsis where I'm just like, oh, this might be good. So we'll see. I haven't decided if I want to like read that right after The Housemaid, or if I want to read some of her other stuff and kind of like save that for last, like save the best for last type of thing. We'll see. I don't know. Read a lot of Freida. She's a very popular author. From what I hear, her books are incredibly bingeable, and I think that they're like not too long where they're like intimidating and stuff like that. They're short enough. From what I hear, they're very fast paced and they have decent plot twists. I've kind of heard mixed things though when it comes to like her plots and like her storylines or like plot twists or whatever like that, because there are some people that I've heard say that like all her books are kind of the same. It's like once you've read one, you've read them all. But then I've heard other people say that that's not true and that they like love reading her books and they don't feel like it's repetitive. So, excuse me, I don't really know, like, obviously I don't know for myself because I haven't read anything yet, but that is one of the things that I'm a little bit afraid about. I think that maybe is one of the reasons why I haven't read anything of hers yet, is because I'm afraid that like I'm going to read something that I really, really like. And then every book after that is just going to feel like repetitive or like redundant. So I think I've just like maybe in the back of my mind that has been something that's been kind of like holding me back from wanting to read her stuff. Hello to Christina. Okay, so it was yesterday. I was gonna say it was either yesterday or Monday. It was some day this week, where it's only Wednesday, so it had to have been in the last 2 days. I had to make it for the ones I forgot about on Sunday. When the Reckoning Comes is so good. Okay. I feel like I wonder if this sounds like a title that I maybe have heard like Keita talk about. I can't remember. Hello, Tennille. How are you? Yes, my recovery is going well so far. I meet with my hematologist in 2 weeks. So hopefully in 2 weeks I'll know like a little bit more. And I'll also know if there's any plans to like change the like my treatment plan. Because right now, like I said, the plan it's supposed to be a 6-month plan. So maybe, maybe my blood work and stuff will come back looking good enough that they're like, hey, you actually don't need 6 months. Like we can cut this in half and you can be done in 3. I don't know. Is that me being overly ambitious? Maybe. But I'll basically the point is that I'll know more in 2 weeks. Trying to finish today's pages of The Burning Stone before the Father Brown watch party starts. Oh, nice. Let's update. Have you finished When the Moon Hits Your Eye? And have you finished City of Blades? Burning Stone. Oh, nice. Excellent. 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 Hello to Tennille and Vasantha. Hello to Jess, Vasantha, and Tennille. What's the festival? What is it called? Imaginarium. Me and Vanessa and a couple of other bookstagrammers and stuff are going to that. It's in DC. So we will be there at the beginning of June. And I definitely have to like start working on my like building up my endurance and stuff, because I imagine that there's gonna probably be a decent amount of walking. I wonder if this is like a random thought that I'm just having. So ignore me as I like think out loud. I wonder if I could like send an email to them requesting like some type of like ADA type of situation. I'm just thinking because like it's probably going to be a lot of walking, and obviously when we got tickets to go to this, it was before all of this stuff happened to me, and now I'm just like, I don't know if I can do all that walking. I need to think about that. Hello to Glenda. Hello, Abby. Just got home from work. Gonna walk on my treadmill and listen to this Houseful feed. Ooh, what kind of book is that? Is that a horror book? It sounds like a horror book. Let's see. Okay, there we go. And have you finished Shield of Sparrow? That is a book that I also need to read at some point this year, because I keep hearing really good things about that. And I completely forgot about it until I just saw that that was the last book that you were reading. Let's see. This house will feed. Very nice. The Inmate has one of the best epilogue twists. Oh, interesting. Okay. I feel like I haven't heard very many people talk about The Inmate. Never Lies My Current Fate. See, just off of the synopsis, I could tell. I was like, oh, this is going to be good. Hello, Lexi. I think I'm going to start Queen of Shadows tonight. Nice. Let's see. Have you finished? Did you finish On Wings of Blood? I can't remember. I know that you were reading Air of Fire last time, which you obviously finished. Otherwise, you wouldn't be starting Queen of Shadows. There we go. Never Lies the one you're talking about. Yes. Yep. Fingers crossed. Honestly, sometimes the people we think will have the hardest recovery recover amazingly. That would be fantastic. Honestly, that would be best case scenario. Like, I understand why they're anticipating that it's going to take as long as it's supposed to take because of how big the clots were, but I'm just like, maybe we can speed this up somehow. Never hurts to ask. Yeah, I will definitely be asking. There's a bunch of questions that I have for the hematologist when I meet for them. I think I talked about this last week, but like some of the tests that came back not how I wanted them to, but it's likely that they were like skewed
because I'm on blood thinners. So it's like, okay, what do we do about that? Like, do I need to test again in 6 months when I'm not on the blood thinner? Or is there some other test that I can do that's not going to be effective? Because I would like answers to those questions as well. So that'll be a whole conversation that we'll have to have when I meet with him. And I have like a whole list. Like I have like a running list in my phone of like things I want to make sure that I talk to him about when I meet with him in 2 weeks. And then I also, between the hematologist and then the pulmonologist. The pulmonologist is who I'm working with to do, like, I had to do another sleep study. I'm pretty sure I talked about the sleep study that I did when I had to do one last year. I have to do another one. And that's going to be a whole process because we have to then talk about, depending on what the results are. Hopefully they haven't changed much since last year. And if they have changed, hopefully they've changed for the better. I don't know. But then like the process of like, okay, now that we did the study and we got the results, what's the next step? Like, what are my options as far as like CPAP or like what is it called? The whatever it's called, the thing that they put in your mouth to like keep your, jaw in place or whatever. So going through all of that, it's just, this year is going to be a year. I can already tell. There's just so much to get done this year, just for the sake of my health. Like, not even just like stuff that I want to do, stuff that I have to do. It's unfortunate, being an adult is hard. Nobody tells you when you're a kid that being an adult is hard. Good. Excellent. Hello to Tennille. Hello, Courtney. Out grabbing food. Ooh, what are you getting to eat? Hello to Christina. Hello to Courtney. Oh, wow. 6 stars. Okay. That is one that I keep hearing good things about. Rainey loved it. I feel like there's a couple of other people. I can't remember who, but there's a couple of other people that have had like really good things to say about On Wings of Blood. My hesitation with it is I feel like the way that so many people love On Wings of Blood is the same way that a bunch of people loved Serpent and the Wings of Night and also When the Moon Hatched. And then when I read both of those books, I was like, So it's like, I want to read On the Wings of Blood because there are so many people that like it, but I'm also scared that it's going to turn out the way those other two did. Okay, good. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I mean, hey, nothing wrong with a good book, of course. Hello to Courtney and Lexi. Hello to Christina and Glenda. Finish City of Blades. Only have 20 pages left on When the Moon Hits Your Eye. Okay. What are you thinking of When the Moon Hits Your Eye? I haven't read it yet, but I do have it. Like, I physically have the book, but I have not started it yet. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts? Okay. Also gay. See, there are a lot of people that I know that have read this book that really like it. Get to ask lots of questions. Oh yeah, for sure. Didn't like When the Moon Hatched. Yeah, I was like, what is this? Like, I could get down with Serpent in the Wings of Night. It wasn't great the way that everybody said it was, but it was good enough that I wouldn't mind reading the sequel, right? Like, it's not something that's like high up on my to-do list, but it's not something that I'm like opposed to, right? When the Moon Hatched, I don't know if there is a sequel to this, but if it is, I have no desire or intention to read it whatsoever. Like, zero interest. And with that, we have reached the end of the comments. So we are going to get set up to go into our first sprint. And then we'll come back, we'll chat a little bit, and I'm probably going to do dinner during the next sprint. I think When the Moon Hits Your Eye is fun, but I can see why some people don't like it. It follows events day by day, but from unconnected perspectives. Yes, I've heard that it's like from different perspectives. And I can't decide if I like that concept or if I would find that annoying. So that's one of the reasons why I haven't read it yet, because I'm like nervous, because I'm just like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. I wouldn't be surprised, especially with like how much hype and stuff it got, like how many people were like all over that book. I would not be surprised. But I can tell you right now, I won't be reading it. I find it amusing that most of Scalzi's I read. Okay. I mean, the stuff that I read from him, like one of the reasons why I like him as an author is because he's funny and he finds a way to take like real stuff and sometimes like serious stuff and like make it a comedy, which I appreciate. And it's not like in a rude way. It's like, you know, tactful, but still like funny and honest. So I like him as a writer. Talking a lot about Frida, just downloaded her recent book to my Kindle. Nice. We've influenced you. I was nervous too, but okay. Hey, 4.25 is not bad. That is not bad. Everything can't be a 5-star. I will take a 4.25. All right, do I? I have not. I was gonna say, am I sharing my screen? Of course I'm not sharing my screen. Okay, let's minimize this. Let's open up the timer. Let's share my screen so that you guys can see the timer. I probably should switch over to here first and then share my screen. It's a process. There we go. Excellent. Alrighty, friends. I will see you all back here in an hour. Happy reading or doing whatever it is you're going to be doing for the next hour. And we are back. I don't know what's going on with the sound, but I can't hear the timer when it goes off. So hopefully you guys heard the timer when it went off. I'm not sure what, it must be something with like my settings or something. It's probably, the sound is probably trying to come out of something that it's not supposed to come out of. Like for some reason, like sometimes my computer will try to get the sound to come out of my microphone. I'm just like, that's not what that does. So I don't know why I can't hear anything, but as long as you guys can hear what you need to hear, that's all that matters. But how did everyone do? How did that sprint go for everyone? What did you guys end up doing with that time? I started at 10% and I got up to 23%, which is kind of surprising. I feel like I read a lot during that time, but apparently not. I don't know. But yeah, I got to 23%. Still enjoying it. I will say that there's like a lot happening and there's a lot of characters, and it's a little bit of a struggle for me to keep up with like who's who, because you don't really, like, I feel like you don't spend a lot of time with these characters individually for you to really get a sense of like each one's personality and be able to tell whatever. So like when different people are talking, I'm like, wait, who's talking right now? And I'm just like, oh, like Jennifer. I'm like, which one is Jennifer? Like, so that's something that's like tripping me up a little bit, is just trying to keep up with like what's going on, because there's so much going on. This is not going in the direction that I thought it was going to go in, which is not a bad thing. It just, like, I was under the impression that this was going to be a rom-com, and based on what's happening right now, this is not a rom-com. Quite the opposite. But I'm assuming that by the end, there's going to be some type of like romance or something that ends up happening, which will be very interesting to see how we get there from where we are right now. But yeah, it's still interesting. I'm still like very much like, ooh, what's going to happen next? Like, what are they going to do? I'm trying to figure out like, you know, who's the killer. I feel like I have an idea of who it is, but like, I don't know for sure, but I'm having a good time with it. So I will continue. I'll probably continue reading this during the next sprint. Normally I'll like watch something while I eat during the second sprint, but like I said, I have a bunch of books that I need to read between now and June. So I gotta pick up the pace and get these books read. So I don't have time to watch stuff like I've been doing. I gotta like kick my butt into gear. So that's how that went. I did order my dinner because I don't have food here since I'm not like actually staying here. I don't have any food in the refrigerator. So I ordered dinner, so that is on its way. Hopefully it'll be here soon so that I can eat once the second sprint starts. And yeah, let's jump into the comments and see how you all did during this last sprint. Let me see, where did I leave off? I think here. Hello, Vanessa. Welcome in. I have a video idea for you, so I will message that to you. It's a video idea. It didn't start off as a video idea. It started off as like, I just had a question, but I was like, she could maybe make a video about this. So we'll talk. Hello to Vanessa. Guess what I did, guys? You're not going to believe it. I edited a video. I know, crazy, right? Who would have thought? I edited a video. It will come out on Sunday. It's an old video. It's something that I filmed in March of last year that I never edited. I have a video from last March, and I have two videos from last March that I never edited. So I'm actually working on editing the second one. I started working on that one today. And then I have a video that I think I filmed it in it was either September or August, because it was around the time of like Mystic. So it was either late August or early September. I filmed a video and I have to edit that too. So I have 3 videos in the queue that I need to edit and get done. I am feeling more motivated to like create. I think I've been in a similar way that I've been like in a reading slump. I've been in like a creative slump too, where I just haven't been feeling very creative or inspired to create. But, and I couldn't tell you what changed or what it was that has now like kind of made me want to create. But yeah, I'm feeling more like Also, something is wrong with StreamYard, just so you guys know. I cannot, the comments are not moving. The comments are stuck here. So I'm trying to pull up the sprints on my phone so that I can see the rest of the comments. So if you're wondering why I'm not showing them on the screen, it's because they're not showing up. But yeah, I have 3 in the queue that I'm working on. I've been feeling more inspired, and I'm not ready to start making new content just yet, but I'm thinking like within the next, like, let's say 2 weeks, I'm hoping there's some things that like I need to figure out creatively first, because there's stuff that I want to do, but I don't know how I want to do it, if that makes sense. Like if you're, writing a book, you might be like, oh, like I want it to be enemies to lovers, but it's like, okay, now you have to fill in like how do you build the story, right? So it's kind of like that, where it's like, okay, I know I want to do this, but like now I have to like think about like how I'm gonna get there. So I plan on working on that in the next 2 weeks and kind of like hashing all that out so that I can start making new content. So yeah, just know that the next 3 videos that you're going to get from me are videos that I filmed over a year ago. Well, the first 2 were over a year ago. And then the third one was like 6 months-ish ago. But it's better than nothing. It's better to finally get these videos edited and out. Let's see. Bree said, sorry to share bad news with everyone, but just found out oh my gosh. And he got outside this morning and we think the neighbors up. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Bree. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Where is it at? I see Ati said, oh my gosh, so sorry, Bree. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, take, if you need to like dip out, feel free. Or if you need something to like help distract you, feel free to hang out. Do whatever you need to do. That is like so abrupt. Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine like the abruptness of like finding something like that out. I'm so sorry. Ati said, I filmed another video outside and relocated to inside. Very nice. What was the weather like where you are? The weather was hot today. It was like 90 something degrees today, which is not normal for April. Very not normal. It's been hot all week, which is also not normal for April for it to be quite this hot. This is like June weather. But also I think it's supposed to drop down to the 60s on Sunday, which is like, okay, like pick a lane. Let's see. Lexi said just finished making dinner. Ooh, sloppy joes and tater tots. And took a shower. Excellent. Hello, Chrissy. Just joining in, reading an arc of Our Perfect Storm by Carly Fortune. Ooh, nice. I have not read a Carly Fortune book in a minute. It's been like some years since I've read I think the only one that I read was Every Summer After. I think the one that came out after Every Summer After, or is it the one after that? It's one that has like this like pinkish kind of color, like pinky purplish kind of. So it's something about the summer. I forget what it's called. Or is it about the summer? Actually, now I need to look this up because now I can't remember. I feel like it's something about the summer. Let's Google Carly Fortune books. Oh, Meet Me at the Lake. That's the one. No. Sorry, not Meet Me at the Lake. This Summer Will Be Different. I knew it was something about summer. When This Summer Will Be Different came out, there were a lot of like negative reviews. And so I just didn't bother picking it up. And then I kind of forgot about her as an author until just now. I probably should like check out something of hers. It's been a minute because I did like Every Summer After. So I feel like I would like, some of her other books, but because there was so much like dislike for This Summer Will Be Different, I was like, I'm not going to prioritize this. I'm going to put this one off. Then I just never did it. Let's see. What were you reading last time? You were reading Wild Side. I'm assuming, because that was back in March, I'm assuming that you finished that or DNF'd it if you decided not to finish it. But let us know. Let me see. Perfect. It's also interesting that a lot of her titles have to do with like weather or seasons or nature. Like Every Summer After, This Summer Will Be Different, Meet Me at the Lake, Our Perfect Storm. Like, I see that there's a trend happening here. Let's see. Oh, I didn't even put our, I just put perfect storm. Our perfect storm. My wings were so good. Oh, nice. Just been scheduling some IG content. Ooh, while I'm in New York this weekend. Very fun. Are you in New York for like fun, like for leisure? Or are you in New York for like work? Like what's the occasion? And yes, I have a video idea for you. I don't think that you've done a video like this. Maybe I need to go through your videos first to see if you've already done something like this, because maybe you have. Yes, definitely sorry about Bree's kitten. Sharisa got to 42% in Lucky Seed, and this chapter 12 is 65 minutes long. Oh my gosh. Who was I having this conversation with? Was it Margaret? I can't remember who I was talking to. This was like within the last couple of weeks. I was talking to somebody. It was like multiple people in this conversation, and we were talking about like long chapters and how like if a chapter is like 30 minutes long, that's a long chapter. Like on audio, a 30-minute chapter is long. Anything over a 30-minute chapter is long. And I can't even imagine trying to read. Like I'm the kind of person where if I'm reading something, whether I'm listening to it on audio or if I'm reading it with my eyeballs, I can't just like stop in the middle of a chapter or in the middle of whatever. Like sometimes chapters will have like breaks within the chapter, and like that I can kind of work with. But if that isn't happening and it's just like this long chapter with no breaks, I can't just stop in the middle. Like my brain will not allow me to do that. I have to finish the chapter before I can put the book down. So when you have chapters that are 65 minutes long, it's like it de-incentivizes me. I don't know if that's a word, but it de-incentivizes me to like want to pick it up, because I'm like, I know that I'm about to commit for 65 minutes at least just to get through this one chapter. I don't know. I don't like super, super short chapters, but at the same time, a 30-minute chapter, or sorry, a 65-minute chapter is like out of control. Out of control. Let's see. Bree said, thank you. It was so unexpected. Didn't even know for sure he had gotten out. I thought he was hiding somewhere under the bed or in the closet, but we found him by the shed. Oh, just when the sprint started. Oh my gosh. Do you guys have like cameras or anything? Are you able to like go back and like watch to see like what, like how this happened? Not that you will want to watch it, but just like know, like, was it the neighbor's dog or like was it something else? I don't know, like what kind of area you live in. Like, could it have been like, like a fox or something, like some like, wild animal that's just like roaming around type of thing? But that's so sad. Hello to Vanessa. Oh, Vanessa's at a book con. Nice. She def has a brand she sticks to. Yeah. It was last March I was reading while outside and I gave it a 4. Excellent. Yeah, I need to check out her stuff. Like I need to go back to looking at her stuff because it's been a minute since I've read anything from her. And I feel like maybe this summer I'll try to because her stuff tends to be like very either like summer or like fall vibey. So I feel like maybe I'll try to get to something of hers this summer. We'll see if we can make that happen. I make no promises, but if there is a time to do it, it would be the summertime. But yeah, I think we've reached the end of the comments. If I missed anything, I apologize. StreamYard is StreamYarding, and I'm looking at it on YouTube. And as far as I can see on YouTube, we're caught up. So unless that is also glitching. But yeah, we are going to jump back into another sprint. Let's see. Get our timer pulled back up. I'm going to listen to more of this book because I am quite interested to see where this is going. This story is out of control and I can't even predict. This story just completely caught me like off guard. I'm just like, where are we going with this? Let me reset the timer. There we go. All right. I will see you all back here in an hour. Happy reading or doing whatever it is you're going to be doing for them. And we are back. How did everyone do? How did that sprint go for everyone? I got to 37%. I had to rewind a little bit because I was like also trying to like do some shopping and I zoned out and wasn't listening to the book while I was trying to do said shopping. So I had to go back a little bit, but I got to 37%. Still interested to see like where, okay, there we go. I was gonna say my whole computer just froze. Okay, anyway, interested to see where this story is going. Like, and it's crazy because I feel like so much has happened, and I'm not even halfway into the book. So I'm just like, what is the second half of this book about? Like, I'm just very intrigued by this concept. And maybe it's because like I haven't heard anybody talk about this, and I didn't read the synopsis, so I don't know what to expect. But I'm just like, where are we going with this? I've not read anything quite like this before. I've read like, slasher stuff before. Like I remember there was a Lisa Springer book that I read a while ago. I forget what that was called, where they were like at like a house. It was like these rich kids at like a house party. And then there was another book that I read. I can't remember who the author of that was, but it was like these kids at a summer camp. I don't know what that book was. I'm gonna have to go back and look at my story graph. What the heck was that book called? But yeah, this is, I don't know. I just feel like so many people, so many characters are like dead, and so much has happened, and we're not even 50% of the way through. So where are we going with this story? This is what I need to know. Let me see. Also, I don't know if I said this already, but I ate dinner, so that's done. I think during the next sprint, I'm probably going to use that sprint. We'll do one more sprint. It'll be probably a 45, I'm thinking. Depends on how long we chat. But it'll either be a 30 or a 45. And I'm probably going to use that time to continue listening to this, obviously, but also like get cleaned up and packed up so that my mom can come pick me up when I'm done. So I think that's going to be the plan, is to spend the next sprint tidying up so I can get out of here. And I want to make sure that we, end on time so I can get you guys over to Atia's channel before she begins her sprints, which I didn't check today specifically, but normally they start at 10. So assuming that is still the case today, I want to make sure that I get you guys out of here on time so that you're not late for her sprints if you're planning on continuing on the sprint trolley for Read Your Library Readathon. Let me see. I think so the comments for now are working again. And I think we left off here. Samantha said, I continued when the reckoning comes and then finished breakfast, had donuts, and now coffee will continue after. Very nice. Also have it now back to you on physical, but I'm immersive reading it. Haven't read it in 2 days. I just finished that book yesterday. So you'll have to let me know once you finish it, like, what your thoughts are on it. I think I gave it a 4, if I remember correctly. Yeah. It was either a 4 or 4.25. I forget what I ended up like deciding to go with, but I hope that you enjoy it. I will say that I think that First Time Caller is better, but I'm also interested to see what comes next in this series, because I feel like in Now Back to You, there's like 2 different couples, and I feel like we could potentially follow either one of these couples. Not like couples, but like, you know how like in First Time Caller, you were introduced to Jackson and Delilah. So then in First Time Caller, you were introduced to Jackson and Delilah. So then and Now Back to You came out, those are the main characters. Same kind of situation where you're introduced to some characters and it's like, okay, are both of these sets of like couples going to get their own book, or like which one is going to get the next book? So I'm intrigued now to see like what is next, which couple we're going to follow next. It will be a crazy plot twist if the next book isn't involving either one of those couples. That would be hilarious. But yeah, you have to let me know how you end up enjoying it once you finish it. When the Reckoning Comes was so good. That's what everybody keeps saying. I've not really heard many people talk about this book, but since it's been brought up today on Sprints, everybody is like, oh, it's so good. I'm going to have to add this. I'm going to have to look this up. Like, what even really is this? I've only like heard like very like, kind of almost like whispers about this book, but everybody's like, it's so good. Scheduled 3 posts. Nice. Working on a 4th. Excellent. Working on some crochet while I listen to Death at the Door. It's apparently due back to Living on Friday. How far into it are you? That's the real question. But you also, don't you listen to your books on like 3 times speed? Like, I feel like we've talked about this before. So I feel like you could definitely, if anybody could do it, it would be you to get it done by Friday. Let's see. Let's add this to the list. There we go. At the door. Let's see. Jen said I cleaned up from dinner, got my kids to bed, read like 10 pages. Kind of bored with this one, even though I've heard such great things. Wait, let me go back. What are you reading again? Oh, Theo Golden. Interesting. Okay. Do you typically like literary fiction? Or was it literary fiction? Yeah, I think that's what you said it was. Do you typically like that genre and this one is just not a hit for you? Or is this a genre that you don't typically read, but you decided to pick it up because you had heard so many people like, having good things to say about it? Jessica said, I finished my assignment, made tea, did a load of dishes, ate dinner, and read 2 chapters. An extremely productive sprint. Amazing. I think I'm going to head to bed after the chatty bit. You're welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us. 29 minutes left in chapter. Oh my gosh. I forgot about this. The 65-minute chapter. Jeez Louise. But it's keeping my attention while I clean up the kitchen and fold the clothes. Well, that's good. I feel like you can tell when books do this, right? When they have like these super long chapters, you can tell if a book is like good if you don't notice how long a chapter is. I can't name any books like off the top of my head where this has happened, but I know that I've had that happen where it'll be like a super long chapter that I didn't even realize was a long chapter until I get to the end. It might be like 5 minutes left in the chapter, and I look to see like how much time has already passed. I'm like, oh shoot, like that was 35 minutes. Like I didn't even feel like it. So it is nice when you don't feel like it's been 65 minutes, Read 15% of Our Perfect Storm, took out the garbage from the house, and put the bin out. Excellent. I liked it. Like I said, I don't think it was as good as First Time Caller. I do think that First Time Caller was a 5-star. And now back to you. Like I said, it was like a 4.25. I think that what threw me a little bit, and maybe if I had known going into it and like could have maybe like mentally prepared or been like in the right space or whatever, trying to figure out how to like word what I'm thinking in my head about this book. I feel like the book, I expected the book to be a rom-com. And it was funny and there was romance. But it almost felt like she was trying to do what like Abby Jimenez or like Kennedy Ryan do, where they have these like romantic stories that have like real stuff happening at the same time. Because, and now back to you, she's dealing with like her grandfather, and the guy is dealing with like his mother and his sisters and, all of that. Trying to be discreet because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. So it felt like it was like trying to balance like this romance with like the real things that are happening in their life. And maybe because I've read Abby Jimenez and Kennedy Ryan books, that this one I just don't feel like lived up to those. And I don't like to like, compare authors or whatever like that. But I think in thinking about why I couldn't give this book 5 stars, I think that's part of it, is that it felt like it was trying to do something that I've just seen other authors do better. And I think I was expecting that this book was going to be a little more focused on the romance. I feel like the romance, strangely enough, felt more like the subplot than like the real plot, because I feel like the romance kind of kicked off a little too early for me. Like this was supposed to be, or what I thought was going to be, an enemies to lovers. They were enemies for like 5 seconds. I'm just like, wait, you guys like each other now? And it was like a known thing. Like they knew that they liked each other. I'm just like, wait. You guys are supposed to be enemies. Did we forget what our role? Did we forget what the trope was that we were supposed to be doing here? So I just think that the romance part just moved a little faster than I would have liked for it to. And I also found that as I was listening and like reading this book, that I kept being like, how much longer is this? Like, how much, like, what else is going to happen? Like, what more is there to do? Like, I felt like we exhausted the story. It felt like the book was longer than it needed to be. And maybe that's part of it too. Maybe if it had been a little bit shorter, maybe, I don't know, the pacing to me felt a little slow. It felt like it was dragging. But overall, like I said, I still gave it a 4 or 4.25. I just don't remember which button I pressed. I'll have to go back and look at Storygraph. But overall, you know, it was fine. Gave it a 3. Yeah, exactly. Gave it a 3. Oh, 100%. First Time Caller was a 5-star, without question. Cooper and Maggie. Oh, okay. Cooper, Maggie's she's like the lady that's in charge, right? And Cooper is like the one that does the like the acquisitions or something like that. Is that the couple that you're talking about? Because I wasn't sure if it was gonna be them or if it was gonna be Mark and whatever that girl's name is that he's with. I don't remember what her name is. Same, I have 50% left in my book and it's due Friday. Good luck to us. 78% currently, and yeah, still listing at 3 times speed. So I'm planning on finishing it tonight. Yeah. I was like, if anybody could do it, it would be Lexi. When the Reckoning Comes is a horror novel with Southern Gothic elements. Read it for Black Weanathon 2 years ago. Oh, so it's not even a new book. It's like an old book. Wow. Not old, but you know what I mean. It's not like it's something that just came out recently. Crazy. I might have to add that to my list because right now I have like The Reformatory. That's one of the books that I have on my list that I already know I want to get to in October for Black Weanathon. I'm gonna have to add this to my list. I went to pick up dinner, just took a shower. Nice. What did you end up getting for dinner? It was like enemies if they were in elementary school. Exactly. Like they picked on each other because they liked each other. I agree. But like I said, they were only enemies for like 5 seconds. And then like when they got in the van to like go to the mountain, at that point, they weren't enemies anymore. He was just kind of like, do you think I'm attractive? And it's like, wait, what? I thought that y'all didn't like each other. Like, what are we doing right now? I was very confused. The book, yeah, exactly. The pacing was strange. It just felt like we were drawing out a story that didn't need to be drawn out. But, you know, I will still 100% read the next one. And it's funny because now, you know, they say everything happens for a reason, right? And so every time that I was trying to see BK Borison, you know, for her, like, you know, she's on tour right now for this book. I tried to see her a bunch of different times. And every time it was like, oh, she canceled because of this. And, oh, I can't go now because I'm in the hospital. You know, all these things kept happening where it's like I couldn't go to any of the events that she was doing, you know, to promote this book. But now that I've read the book, I'm like, I'm kind of okay with that. I'm kind of okay that I wasn't able to make it to anything. Like, I don't feel like I missed out, if that makes sense, on not, you know, being at any of those events. But I'm excited to see what, you know, she does for the next one and what kind of tropes, because I'm wondering if it's going to be like second chance. I don't know why, but I just have like, I have this idea in my head that I completely made up that she's going to do a second chance romance. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens. Oh, what was that? Hold on. I need to save this so I can come back and watch that later. Sorry. So annoyed she kept. I know. It was like everything. Like when we tried to go see her with Allie Carter, wasn't there. When she was with whoever she was supposed to be with at Greedy Reads, wasn't there. And then whatever the thing was that was happening, it was like some kind of like craft something. I forget what it was. But I think she canceled for that too. The event still happened, but like she wasn't there. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. You know, hopefully everything in her life, you know, hopefully she's all right and whatnot. But yeah, a lot of cancellations and rescheduling and stuff like that. Then there was a time where it snowed and I couldn't go. Like she was there, but I wasn't there because I wasn't driving out there in the snow. So yeah, it was just very much like, you know, hit or miss, like ships passing in the night, couldn't make it to anything. But like I said, now that I've read the book, I'm okay with that. I've made my peace with it. I don't feel like I missed anything. So it's all good. I'll catch her the next time around when the next book comes out. I'm wondering too, I think the next book in the Good Spirits series, I don't know what that series is actually called, but I think that book might be coming out before the next book in Heartstrings comes out. Really wish this weather would. Settings on my brain could. I really don't like being a human barometer. Listen, the weather is very much all over the place. Like it was 90 degrees today. It's gonna be 60 degrees on Sunday. So I like I said earlier, I need the weather to pick a lane. That would be fantastic. I'm not really sure what it's trying to do or what it's trying to prove right now, but we see you, Mother Nature. We see you. We acknowledge you. You don't have to do all of this to get our attention. Thank you, Christina. I will sip my coconut water. I did start drinking this. I'm going to try to finish that before I leave. Oops. And we have our link to the announcements and the TBR videos for the Read Your Library Readathon. We have the link for the Sprint Trolley. And we also have our links for, or the link for Atia's sprints, which begin in approximately 50 minutes. So we are going to get ready to jump into our last sprint. We'll do a 30-minute sprint. That'll give us time to chat a little bit at the end, do any kind of like announcements or re-say announcements that I already said earlier in case you weren't here when I said them earlier or whatever. And then get out of here, hopefully give you guys a little bit of a break in between in case you need to like run to the bathroom, grab a snack, do whatever you got to do. So let me pull up our timer. I need to change the timer so that it's on 30. And we're going to switch over. Oh, there we go. Switch over to that. All right. And I will see you all back here in 30 minutes. Happy reading or doing whatever you're going to be doing to wind down for the evening. And we are back. How did everyone do for that last sprint? Did you guys end up using those last 30 minutes to do? I got everything cleaned up. The only thing that I need to do is dump my dehumidifier, dump the water out of the dehumidifier, and then I'm ready to go. So that worked out well. Perfect timing. Still have some time to spare before IT gets started, so we'll chat for a little bit. I'll restate whatever some of the announcements that I made earlier in case people weren't here. But I did get to 44% before I jump into any announcements. I did get to 44% in my book, so I feel like I made good progress because at the start of these sprints, I was at 10% and now I'm at 44%. So I got a good chunk of this done tonight. We'll see. Sprints, like when I do sprints on Wednesdays, that is like my dedicated time to read. So when I'm not doing sprints, it's harder for me to like force myself to read. So we'll see. I am interested in this story though, to see where this is going. One thing I will say that something just disappointed me in this story. It makes reference to a killer who wears a mask with like heart-shaped like eye cutouts. And I was like, ooh, like I like that they are, doing a little like nod to the Hard Eyes movie that came out. Was that last year when that came out? I think it was last year when Hard Eyes came out. I was like, oh, cool. But then she called the killer like the Hard Eyes killer. I'm just like, you can't use the same name that was in the movie. Like, you can't do that. It would be like if somebody wrote a book and there was like a killer wearing like a mask and the mask is like a ghost and they call it Ghostface. Like, you can't do that. There's already a Ghostface. You know what I mean? So that was a little bit disappointing because I thought that it was just kind of like a little like nod to the movie, not like ripping off the movie completely. So we'll see where it goes. She's only used that word, that name once. So maybe it'll get a different name. Maybe once we figure out who it is or something. I don't know. It's still, again, I'm not even halfway through this book. So there's still time for them to redeem themselves from that little like moment. So we'll see. But I'm excited to see where this is going. So yeah, hopefully my goal, what did I just click? My goal is going to be to try to finish this maybe by the end of the weekend. So like maybe by like the end of the end of the day Sunday, maybe. We'll see. That might be a little ambitious, but that's my goal, is to try to finish this by Sunday. But how did everyone else do? What did you guys end up doing with those last 30 minutes? We had Kiana join us. Hello, Kiana, listening to Starling House. Let's update. Let's see, what was the last thing that I have that you were reading? Royal Bride Demand. I'm assuming that you finished that because that was back in, I think, January. So hopefully you either finished or DNF that by now. Starling House is what we have on deck currently. Nice. Yes, that was our last sprint, but the sprint trolley is continuing. We're just moving over to Atia's channel. Atia will be starting her sprints at 10 o'clock, which is in about 15 minutes. Did my skincare. Nice. Cleaned up the kitchen. Took out the trash. Excellent. Watch party done. Afghan complete. Nice. Time for me to get ready for bed. Lovely. 91% now. Almost done with the current part of my crochet project. Nice. So much like completion in progress happening in these sprints tonight. I love it. Guess who finished the 65-minute chapter? This gal. Love it. Love it. Now that you've gotten through it, was it worth it? Like, was it a good chapter? Yeah, I think it was like January or something. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, good to see you as well. Oh, I put all my stuff away. I finished my coconut water. And the cup that I had, the Stanley cup that I had that had water in it, I finished the water. And I put the cup in the dishwasher. We have our lovely reminders, which I definitely needed this reminder because I need to take my medicine tonight before I go to bed. The last couple of nights I've been taking it at midnight. I'm supposed to take it, not supposed to, but they say to like take it, the same time every night or whatever. So I try to do around like 10 o'clock. but I always forget. And it's not until like 12:30 that I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't take my medicine, because I'm not used to, having to do something like this. So thank you for that reminder. Very, very helpful, Christina. But yeah, stretch, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell before you go. Hello to Kiana. We have our link once again for the announcements and TBR videos for Regional Library Readathon. We have the link to the playlist for the sprints. So if you click on this link, it'll take you to all the sprints that are, or at least all the ones that are scheduled up to this point, for the Regional Library Readathon. Like I said, we are heading over to Atia's channel in about 10-ish minutes. So this is the link to that if you're planning to continue to stay up and read or be productive tonight. Hello to Christina. Okay, so I said this earlier, so if you were already here, this is going to be repetitive, but I do have a video that will be coming out on Sunday. It is a video that I filmed in March of last year. So if you're like, oh, her hair looks different or whatever, yes, this video was filmed over a year ago. But it's footage that I had that I haven't been needing to edit, and now that I have a little bit more like time where I can't do a whole lot, I'm like, let's get these videos edited. So that will be coming out on Sunday. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, I feel like my last couple of posts have been like sponsored promo stuff for like products. There will be another one of those coming. It's really a coincidence that a bunch of stuff was sent to me to like review and stuff like that all at once. And then because I was like really out of commission for a couple of weeks, the deadline for when this stuff has to be posted is coming up. So that's why all of these things are kind of happening back to back. So if you're sick of all of the promo stuff or whatever, or sponsored posts, I apologize, but I have to fulfill my contracts. So yeah, there will be another post in the next like week or two that will be coming on Instagram that is going to be another sponsored post. So I apologize. So just be on the lookout for that if you follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that's coming up? I don't think so. I think that's everything that I have going on for now. Like I said, I am feeling a little more motivated to be creative and make some content. So there'll be some actual new content coming at some point in the next couple of weeks. But for now, you're going to get these videos that I filmed last year and never edited. It was a good chapter. Oh, good. At least it was worth it. Hello to Kiana. All right. With that being said, we've reached the end of the comments. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and reading and being productive with me this evening. Hope you all are, wound down and ready to enjoy your evening. You're welcome. Thank you so much for being here, Glenda. I am going to head out. I'm going to call my mom and be like, ready to be picked up. Come get me. So I can, go get ready for bed myself and sleep. Have a nice, lovely, relaxing sleep. I've been trying to get to bed before midnight. And I find that the nights that I go to bed before midnight, I feel very well rested. Who would have thought, right? So I'm going to try to do that, tonight. But yeah, I will see you all next week, same place, same time, for more Wind Down Wednesday. Next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Have a wonderful night. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.